Alright, so I know it's been a while since my last upload, and I do have a reason for that. I work for a church. And if you do go to our church or whatever, you know that Christmas time and New Year's time is a really crazy time for people who work for churches. And on top of that, I got sick. But I'm back now and I'm ready to make more videos during the week. And in this video, I want to talk about Ahsoka. Specifically, what Ahsoka did after we last saw her on Malachor after she exited the World Between Worlds. So in the Rebels TV show, we see Ezra Bridger save Ahsoka Tano while she's fighting Darth Vader on Malachor. It is during this that they end up in the World Between Worlds. And after a brief encounter in the World Between Worlds with Darth Sidious, she enters a portal that returns her to Malachor. Now after this, there is no information in canon about what she did or how she escaped Malachor. But we see her again after the Battle of Endor when she returns to Lothal to see Sabine Wren. Now it's this encounter, there is no dialogue, but we assume that she finds Sabine so that they could go search for Ezra. And this goes into a theory that I have regarding what she did between her time on Malachor and when we see her at the very end of the Rebels show. Now, a while back in a Star Wars card trader app, Dave Filoni released a series of cards featuring Ahsoka on Malachor. Now, I'll put the cards up on the screen so you'll see what they look like. But ultimately, when you put them side by side, they ultimately tell a story. Now this is what I think happened after we last see her on Malachor. After Ahsoka's duel with Darth Vader, she enters the depths of the Sith Temple, shown in the Topps cards illustrated by Dave Filoni. Following them like a story, it's apparent Ahsoka enters the deepest part of the ancient temple, then later emerges with profound knowledge and a certain point of view of the Force. Which is why when we see her at the end of the Rebels show, and her staff that she's carrying looks a lot like the markings shown on the Jedi Temple in Lothal, right before Ezra enters the World Between Worlds. Now it's also possible that she's achieved a balance in the Force similar to what the Father has in the Clone Wars, maintaining in herself a perfect balance in the Force, rather than leaning too much to the light and too much to the dark. Now another part of this theory that I really like is that Ahsoka didn't stay on Malachor that entire time. It's also plausible that Ahsoka tracked down Luke Skywalker, either after the events of The Empire Strikes Back helping the young Jedi in his training, or they crossed paths following the events of the Galactic Civil War, and help him form his Jedi Temple and track down ancient Jedi artifacts so that he can continue the legacy of the Jedi. Now I think Ahsoka has so much untapped potential and so many stories that could be told about her during this time period, and we do hear her voice briefly in The Rise of Skywalker at the very end, and it was also hinted by Dave Filoni that she's not really dead, which would make sense because we do know that Jedi and Force users could communicate through the Force. Snoke and Darth Sidious have done this multiple times, and Yoda has even done this in the Rebels show. So I want to know what you think happened to Ahsoka after we last saw her on Malachor, and what you think her future would be in Star Wars canon. And if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.